Now you're listening into Pulse Unscripted Podcast. Welcome back, guys, to Pulse Unscripted Podcast, and today's topic is meaning of life. And our honorable guest today, her name is Yana. Hi, Yana.
Hi.
So we have a very heavy topic today,
Yeah.
which means finding the meaning of happiness.
Yeah, true.
Kind of. Untuk kau lah, meaning of happiness tu apa untuk kau?
Okay. Bagi aku kan, meaning of happiness tu, bila kau ada semua emotion kau. It's mean that in order for you to get the real happiness, is not by you are happy all the time. It's mean that macam kau kena ada perasaan sedih, kau kena ada perasaan marah, anxious, and even fear untuk jadi happy. So basically kan, benda-benda ni aku banyak fikir lah. Usually masa PKP lah banyak fikir sebab aku keep on replan my schedule tau. Macam mana aku nak buat aku punya schedule ni good. Macam aku boleh guna time wisely lah. And aku tengok aku tak dapat ikut pun aku punya plan tu. And which is aku macam curious lah, macam kenapa aku tak boleh ikut semua benda ni. Then aku macam take time and cari balik lah apa sebab dia. And aku teringat lah apa yang, sebab aku pernah pergi psychologist kan masa aku second year. And aku pernah buka cerita kat dia, and dia pernah cakap yang aku ada macam satu sikap perfectionist tau. And which is aku tak pernah tahu pun pasal perfectionist tu. And masa tu juga aku just nodding my head lah. Tapi dalam hati aku macam aku tak agree sangat lah pasal perfectionist kan. Macam bila masuk pula aku perfectionist kan. But bila aku tengok balik, bila aku fikir balik, betul lah sebenarnya aku perfectionist. Aku nak everything ikut cara aku sendiri. Aku nak everything is 100% success, which is impossible lah untuk kita ikut betul-betul 100% apa yang kita nak. Sedangkan macam badan kita tahu kan apa yang kita perlukan sebenarnya kurang, maybe 80% je daripada apa yang kita nak. So daripada situ aku try balik susun. And masa tu lah aku try cari balik, betul ke the way aku ikut schedule tu untuk my daily life macam tu lah. So daripada situ juga aku dah dapat maintain my emotion. Sebab as I don't know, maybe my close friends know yang aku a bit emotional aku rasa. I think you also know, right? Aku emotional. So bila semua ni, bila aku buat balik and aku nampak and aku try to change lah, to stabilize my mood. Macam mana, macam jangan terlampau sedih, jangan terlampau takut. And sekarang still in learning. And I think insyaAllah lah, maybe I can stabilize my emotion. And from stabilize my emotion, then I can find the true meaning of happiness. Yeah.
So masa PKP ni lah macam kau have a deep self-reflection balik lah.
True.
Macam bila kau pergi psychologist, does it like really help? Like from your experience?
Sebenarnya awal-awal tu I'm not really sure tau, macam betul ke diorang ni boleh tolong. But and daripada aku cakap kat kau pun, aku in denial kan awal-awal masa dia cakap aku is perfectionist. And daripada situ aku dah macam dah try to slow down pergi jumpa dia. And daripada situ aku rasa awal-awal aku rasa psikologis macam betul betul ke apa yang diorang cakap ni macam tu kan. Tapi bila kau ambil masa and think carefully apa yang diorang try to macam nak bagi sampai kat yourself, then di situ lah aku nampak sebenarnya diorang try, memang really hard to try to help you in your life. Yeah.
So masalahnya the patient itself macam kena have a sense of acceptance
Yeah,
on
true.
what the psychologist cakap juga Wah, kadang-kadang betul lah aku rasa memang betul lah. Kadang-kadang kita rasa macam ego kan.
Betul.
Like,
That's one of
we
the
still
problems.
have our sense of ego and like what you're saying are not true and all that macam tu lah.
Betul.
Yeah. So macam we all been through heartbreak and losing hope and demotivated and once a really bad experience terjadi kat hidup kita kan. So macam untuk kau kan, what is the most demotivating benda yang paling teruk je dekat kau that triggers you to like alright, that's it, I'm gonna change macam tu.
For me kan, I think untuk soalan kau ni kan, aku teringat our psychologist yang ajar kita, which is Prof. Firdaus kan. Ingat tak yang dia pernah cakap, jangan jangan rely on someone or something to bring you a happiness. Ingat tak dia pernah cakap dalam kelas? And I think
Ingat?
itu one of the thing that make me realise lah. Sebelum ni maybe aku more depends on my happiness on something or on people, and it's not really good for yourself. So I think from there banyaklah aku belajar daripada situ on macam mana aku nak cari balik diri aku and apa yang boleh buat diri aku happy, which is dulu susah sikit lah sebab kita more busy on our study life kan. So masa PKP ni serious, masa PKP it's really helped me to find my true self, because a lot of new thing I learned during this PKP, and I think by learning lots of things I can see which one can bring me happiness from my inner self. Faham tak? Dia macam dia macam kau tak boleh depends on orang, kau tak depends on thing. If you don't get that Ferrari or whatsoever, then you cannot be happy. No, it's not like that. Macam tu lah. Dia macam kau kena cari happy kau from yourself. Sebab kau tak akan hidup dengan seorang tu, atau kau tak akan ada your favorite car forever tau. Kau kena ada diri kau sendiri je. So I think from there kau kena start to learn on how to rely on yourself. Macam mana nak buat diri kau macam ni. Kan sekarang kan, I don't know, maybe kita yang selalu merendahkan diri kita sendiri. Macam bila orang cakap, bila orang puji, kita macam tak adalah. I think that is some of self-destruction, I think. Sebab macam orang lain nampak kau punya potential, but if you don't look at your potential yourself, then macam mana kau nak nampak benda tu? Sedangkan orang lain nampak. So I think maybe you need to slow down. You need to low down cakap buruk pasal diri sendiri lah. And try to find something untuk buat diri kau more stronger maybe than before.
Masa let's say for a certain period of time, bila something jadi kat kau, bila kau memang kadang-kadang will not self-inflict those kind of thoughts dalam diri kau ke macam mana? I mean like the macam aku tak boleh buat ni, macam I cannot do this, I'm not.
Sebab I am overthinking person. That's true. That's me. Yeah. Sebab because of something, dia boleh affect my life. Macam bagi aku teruk lah. Sebab dia boleh affect my sleep time, dia boleh affect my how I spend my daily life. And I think my sleep pattern kan, daripada 3 year sampai 4 year selalu kena kacau. I mean Aku tak boleh ikut my routine sleep lah. Until one day I need to find something to make me sleep early. Contohlah, macam daripada situ aku start buat diri aku penat, macam exercise ke, cari something lah untuk ubah benda tu. Daripada situ lah.
Lepas tu macam betul juga lah, macam it can really greatly affect kau punya lifestyle.
Betul.
To be specific kan. Once you have that kind of that negative thought about yourself kan. Sebab aku tak tahu lah, aku dengar ni dekat kat internet ke apa tu, kan aku baca ni kat mana-mana lah, tapi aku lupa. Quote ni cakap macam, if you want to help somebody else, it's better if you save yourself first.
Yeah.
Tapi kadang-kadang macam kalau orang baca benda tu macam, that's quite selfish, but actually it's better to love yourself and appreciate yourself before you appreciate others kan.
Sebab kan kita orang, aku dulu pembimbing Rakan tau kat sekolah, and ada satu motto yang pembimbing Rakan ni pegang tau, bantu diri untuk bantu orang lain, which is masa tu pun aku macam I have the same thought as others, which is selfishnya kau nak tolong diri kau dulu baru nak tolong orang lain. And bila kau dah makin dewasa, baru kau akan faham tau maksud dia. Mungkin masa tu kau dah try to think wisely about the meaning of help yourself first. Sebab if kau tak bantu diri kau, macam mana kau nak bantu orang lain? If you not love yourself first, how can you love others? Something like that. Kan? Dia macam kau tak appreciate diri kau sendiri, tapi kau appreciate orang lain. Macam tu lah. Dia macam, sedangkan kau akan live dengan diri kau forever, and people will come and go. So I think it's better to love yourself first, then you can love others.
Tapi in terms of bila we got heartbreak and we got demotivated, having a support system pun is quite very important.
Yes, that's
true. I think you agree on that, right?
Yes.
And kita ada, untuk aku, we have two kinds of support system. We have our friends and we have our family. But the different thing that we told to them are quite, macam, untuk aku lah, quite contrasting lah.
Yeah, true.
Sebab kan, sebab kalau untuk kau, macam, what's your opinion on that, having the difference between like having a friend as a support system dengan family kau sendiri as a support system?
Macam ni, dia macam, when you become adult, there is something yang kau susah sikit nak share dengan family kau, and kau lebih selesa nak share dengan kawan kau. Mungkin sebab sebaya, and mungkin sebab kawan kau tu pun macam ada in the same situation, that which will make you more comfortable lah untuk cerita kat diorang. But ada juga certain yang buat kau rasa, okay, your family is the one that can listen it the best. So I think that is the time kau akan realise lah benda tu. And I think a friend support system is very very good, which is the best lah bila kau jauh daripada family. Sebab daripada kawan kan, kau boleh belajar lots of things, and diorang boleh comfort kau. And sebab tu kita kena try to find someone yang ada untuk kita susah dan senang. It can be friends, it can be your girlfriend or boyfriend. It's okay.
Ada.
Yeah. At least you have someone with you, sebab you cannot live by yourself. You cannot live alone. Tahu tak, dulu aku selalu macam amazed tau dengan orang yang boleh buat kerja sendiri semuanya. Aku macam wow, aku nak jadi macam dia. Sebab dia tak rely on siapa-siapa pun. Dia macam, lantarlah aku boleh hidup sendiri.
Independent.
Yeah, independent. But sampai satu tahap, aku fikir macam you need someone to ask help. Sebab if if kau seorang-seorang, then if you macam aku yang macam ada very emotional, deep thinker, then I think masa tu kau tak dapat luahkan kat siapa-siapa, and it will macam burden yourself lah, sebab kau tak boleh luahkan. So I think it's good to have a support system with you, and family also. Jangan macam family ni, dia punya support system lain tau dengan friend. Sebab family ada dengan kita tau dari dulu tau. And dia lebih tahu daripada kita, and disebabkan diorang umur, maybe sebab parents kita dah lebih lagi macam mana lalui hidup ni kan daripada kita. And sebenarnya kita boleh belajar banyak daripada diorang, and diorang banyak advice yang diorang boleh bagi kat kita, which is very help. So I think support system for family also is very, very important. And also their love. Yeah. That's the most important one.
Tapi aku rasa macam being in an Asian family, being the communication between family and communication between like children and parents are very, very, there's like some sort of barrier lah. Macam ada certain benda yang kau susah nak bagi tahu mak kau sebab sebab the reason of it's tahu lah benda macam tak nak menyusahkan ke, tak nak macam basically buat mak kau or your mak or ayah risau lah. And sometimes and when we have like a huge problem that really define our macam mana how strong is the bond and the strength of the family relationship itself. Untuk aku lah, bila ada a huge family problem lah. Macam untuk kau macam mana?
Untuk aku, sebab tu macam kau cakap lah, kita akan kena ada dua support system, which is friend and family. Sebab kadang-kadang kita akan ada masalah dengan kawan. Takkan kita nak cerita dengan kawan. kita akan share with our sister, brothers, or even our mom, dad. But if you have conflict in your family, then siapa yang kau nak share? I think maybe some people love to macam ni simpan. And if you simpan and dia tak burden yourself too much burden, then it's okay. But I think at some point, maybe when you have conflict with your family, then you can also have a support system from your friend. Walaupun diorang tak understand. Aku pernah baca satu quote tau, macam even though diorang tak understand, tapi a hug from them really, really help. Macam aku tak jenis meluahkan tau. Aku tak pandai luah. Then I think hug really, really help me when I have something burden me. Macam tu lah. And I think support system from both lah is very important. Yeah.
Itulah. Communication pun key jugalah.
Yep.
Okay, you have your support system kan? And then they help you to give advice to you lah. And kadang-kadang it depends on person juga. Either dia nak dengar atau tak dengar kan.
Betul.
Like for you, what would you do after that? Let's say if you dengar, and what would you take? What are the process to overcome that problem?
Oh, if I am a listener ke, and if my friend tell me, and what will I react from that problem lah. For me, aku akan macam ni, kita akan comfort dia lah. Kita akan comfort. Then I usually comfort by words lah kat diorang. Pelik kan? Aku suka comfort orang by words, but aku cannot luahkan apa yang ada kat aku. Which is weird lah sebenarnya.
Tu lah, kadang-kadang there's a say, the person who give the best advice can't give him or herself an advice sendiri.
Betul?
And
I
it's
think
quite hard dilemma.
itu one of the thing that maybe I can improve in the future. Maybe I can more honest with myself. Maybe yeah, maybe like just like you said lah. Maybe sebab ego dengan diri sendiri tu saja.
Lepas tu you were saying before you were such a overthinking, and I guess from that overthinking could lead to insecurity lah, that might have like a huge problem in your life. And so in terms of that, how do you, like, from now you're a changed woman, and how do you overcome that
Overthinking?
thought process, or that barrier lah, mind barrier of overthinking and insecurity?
Sebenarnya untuk kita overcome the negative thought is by having a positive thought sebenarnya. As simply as that. And sebenarnya kita tak boleh buang tau benda tu. It's like itu dia akan ada dengan kau. The deep thinking thing kan. Macam aku sekarang try to minimize that thinking lah. Dia macam kadang-kadang aku ada, kadang-kadang sebab tu aku selalu macam tak ada apa-apa ni. Aku try to turn it into positive and try to not thinking about it by doing something else. Maybe sebab sebelum ni aku terlampau fikir benda tu, and aku fikir kalau benda ni sebab sebab kalau macam aku kan, style aku, if aku ada problem, aku akan masukin, aku akan fikir benda tu, fikir and many if ada tau. Dia macam kalau ni jadi macam mana, kalau macam bagi aku fikir it's some of fear tau, some emotion of fear, which is not very good for you lah, because of that.
The question of what if and
and at the first kan aku cakap kan, the real meaning of happiness kan, aku kata kena ada balance emotion of all sad, happy, anger, and not even fear. But if you have too much fear, then it's not good for your mental health status. So I think because of that, I try to change it into positive thing lah. Dia macam kan aku selalu macam, okay, kalau ni jadi macam mana? But ada juga dalam diri aku yang cakap, if not macam mana? Because of that. And I try to, macam mana? Aku suka baca quote. I very love to read quotes every day, and I think it's really helped me. That's one of the thing lah yang I do untuk change my deep thinking.
Betul. Macam in terms of for me lah pula, before I start this podcast kan, aku pun fikir juga macam ada ke orang nak dengar aku cakap-cakap sembang macam ni kan. Tapi macam there's that question of what if orang tak suka, what if orang tak ada dengar, tak ada orang dalam satu dunia ni pun dengar podcast aku. So but when I think back, when I just stop and process kan, aku fikir balik kenapa niat aku, kenapa aku buat podcast ni. Niat aku untuk buat podcast ni, number one is to help people in terms of having a open conversation yang heart to heart and talk about life experiences, and mungkin orang lain boleh macam bila orang dengar, dia orang boleh benefit lah from apa yang kita cakap ni kan. So when I think back, that's quite a good thing. Maybe it doesn't matter like orang dengar ke tak. What if, the question is, what if ada satu orang dengar and from listening or from receiving the good deeds that you do, it will make their life better for a change. Sebab kita tak tahu kan.
Betul.
So yeah,
aku rasa macam kau punya situation kan, it shows that by having something macam something more braver than the fear, I think itu one
something more than yourself.
Dia macam kau cakap lah, macam ada ke siapa-siapa nak dengar? But what if one person listening and it's really help them in their life? Sebab tu aku rasa, what if is a good question, but you need to turn it back. You need to turn from the negative. What if someone tak tengok itu a positive way? What if at least one person tengok and dia dapat something daripada podcast ni, which is very good. You have that thought. Yeah.
Sebab I think having a positive mindset itself is very important.
True.
Sebab kalau kita, if we only think of the fear itself, nothing will happen lah. Macam kita just takut je. What we fear about. And then what's the meaning of life? Kalau kau asyik takut je, you never do anything, when will your life change kan?
True.
So that's the thing you need to find that meaning But also macam aku buat podcast ni, that I'm doing something that fulfilling my how can I say, myself Untuk kau, what are the things that fulfill you for right now? From what I saw in your social media, your Instagram,
Sebenarnya
kau dah start picking up main violin
sebenarnya sekarang aku macam sebelum ni aku terkongkong dengan satu konsep yang macam, I need only do one thing. Macam if you want to do this, then you need to stick with it forever, which is not true lah. Sebenarnya sebab if we stick on one thing forever, and kau takkan dapat rasa kepuasan untuk buat semua benda. And in PKP, during PKP, really, I come to realization that I want to do lots of things. Because of that, I start baking.
Wow.
I start playing violin. I start painting. A lot of things. And it's really bring a happiness for me. Because I love to try something new. And that's the new thing that I learn about myself. I love to do new things every day, because if I do the same thing, it will make me bored to death. So I think
betul
daripada situ lah, and it's really best lah sebenarnya dapat have the opportunity untuk buat benda-benda baru macam yang kau buat ni, podcast, which is aku at first aku cakap aku deep thinker kan. So I think macam kalau jadi apa-apa macam mana, kalau macam aku nervous macam mana, kalau aku awkward macam mana, and it's really not good lah. And aku pun ada satu tu, but maybe this is your first and your last chance to do something new. And I think macam, why not? Because of that, I agree to do this, because I think maybe it's the first and maybe it will be the last. I don't know the future, right? So I think it's good.
I'm sure it won't be the last. Ada banyak lagi topik aku nak cover dengan kau.
Fuck out lah.
So itu je lah. Alright. So how macam berapa expert lah kau main violin?
Violin?
Kau tengok YouTube ke?
Violin ni kan sebenarnya aku minat violin ni daripada kecil tau. And aku tak tahu aku macam mana, but I really love violin. I think the sound lah, macam mana dia boleh buat. And some people love piano kan. But for me, I don't know, I really love the sound of violin. Because of that, I decide macam, itu dah memang kau punya goals dari kecil. Kenapa macam kau tak nak try? Sedangkan kau tengok kan, kau suka dari kecil, kenapa kau tak nak try? And masa tu lah aku macam, okay, kita try je. Sebab tu aku start play violin. And masa aku belajar tu, I think it's easy. But it's really
senang.
no, it's not.
You thought it was easy.
Yeah, I thought
it was easy.
It was easy. Because
it was freaking hard.
Yeah, because it is also the first instrument that I play. beside recorder lah, which is recorder tu memang
But
daripada
that semua orang punya first instrument though.
instrument is recorder, right? But I think the instrument is violin, and I really try to learn lah, sebab kita kena learn notes dia. And I think it's quite challenging lah, sebab dulu aku macam masa aku belajar masa sekolah rendah pasal notes dia pun aku macam alah benda ni tak adanya in future. Aku fikir macam tu tau. Aku macam if benda, sebab kita kan ada kita kan. Okay, if it's relate to our future, then I will go seriously about that. But if that macam ala PJ, ala music, aku macam tu tau, macam
benda-benda yang
aku macam buat tak buat macam tu lah. So macam
buat tak buat.
that is the thing that I'm really regret until now. And I try to learn it back, the notes and how I want to change, how I want to play the notes on the violin lah. It's quite hard, but I think everyone also a beginner for a new thing, so I think it's okay.
It's better. It's never too late lah.
Yeah, it's never too late.
Pick up something to learn kan.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, macam from apa yang kau cakap ni, and when I reflect back to myself, and it's really important to have break. For example, we have like PKP, and it's a freaking huge break for us.
Yes.
And from that break, we should do a bit more self-reflection.
Betul? Yeah.
Because it's understandable lah, sebab kita masa first year, second year and third year, the worst in my biomed, it was like 20, it's not 24 hours. It was really tough. I think it take a toll on our mental health
Betul?
juga, because we're so busy with programs, and especially being a very active person, we always go into manage program lah, go into this like extracurricular. On top of that, need to make ends meet on like assignments and like course project, especially in third year kan. Third year to me, it was the one of the hardest year.
True.
Yeah, I think most of us having like mental breakdown during third year kan.
It's really, yeah, I think I agree with that. The toughest year is third year. And I think by having the toughest year, it will actually, macam ni, kau dah ada something tau untuk kau pegang. Macam third year pun kau dah boleh try to being strong, and kau dah lepas pun. And sekarang kita tengah ongoing fourth year kan. I think it's really help us. Macam mana, macam aku kan, aku fikir macam third year pun kau dah boleh lepas, kau macam kau dah boleh lalui lah dengan okay. But why not fourth year? Sebab time will pass. That's all. But you need to keep strong day by day. That's all. Third year is the hardest.
Yeah. Betul. It was third year teaches a lot of things, especially for me. I learned like coding, and for you were bertukang.
Lots of things, seriously. Biomedic.
So basically we create a prototype lab instrument, which is quite a hard thing, and took me like a month to learn the coding. But yeah, we persevered, and end up we were one of the best instrument. Not to brag, actually.
But I think everything is a learning process lah. Sebab awal-awal mungkin kau macam kenapa nak buat benda ni? Kan kita kan selalu akan ada thought tu. Dan lagi aku suka komen. Complain and comment. Kenapa kena ni? But kan, after that, macam bila kau balik rumah, bila macam kau tengok macam aku kan, kalau aku tengok bapa aku tengok adik lelaki aku buat kerja pasal elektronik semua tu kan, aku macam oh no, Alung adalah buat benda ni dulu it's not like that. Semua kan. Macam, it's quite interesting.
You're the expert now.
No lah. Macam, it's quite interesting tau. Macam kau boleh, macam, sebelum ni, kau macam orang kata lelaki je buat benda tu kan. So kau tak nak masuk campur. But when you learn that thing and you know, and you can form a conversation with your male family member, and it's really interesting tau. Macam, lepas tu,
So macam boleh relate lah.
macam really, and it's good for bonding lah sebenarnya. Yeah. It's good to have new thing to do. Sebab sekarang kan, I think if you want to try to list new things that you do, I think maybe kita dah banyak lah. Kita dah banyak gila lah kita buat sebenarnya.
Agak lah.
And it's really good sebenarnya. Sebab everyone will not have the same experience as us. That's all. Kan?
Betul. Pushing yourself and daring yourself to do new things are one of the important things or factors that can like create your own character and develop
Betul?
your character. Sebab aku ada lah baca buku ni, nama buku tu Ego is the Enemy.
Oh, okay.
And the writer says ego is the thing that you need to face and obstacle are the way.
True.
By meaning that kau kena face diri kau sendiri. On top of that, kau also kena realize point of acceptance should be there. Sebab kau kena accept siapa diri kau.
Betul.
What are you really? Because you can't really change yourself. Kita bukan dalam game. Kita boleh tukar-tukar avatar kan. So in terms of like having that self-acceptance is very important. After that, in terms of developing your character, kau punya attitude and all that, you should try new challenges lah. It's very important. Yeah. Based on aku punya experience dengan kau punya experience, it's one of the key why we are who we are right now.
Yeah, true.
Kau tak rasa ke macam kadang-kadang as a youth, as a macam mahasiswa, or should I say, macam sometimes we are being too hard with ourselves.
That's true.
When we're doing something, or for example lah, didn't get the score that we want kan. Bila kita dapat buat test kan, bila aku dapat markah rendah kan, aku kadang-kadang aku rasa asal bodoh sangat aku ni. Takkan tak boleh kot. Asal orang lain boleh dapat tinggi macam like near 100% kan. Aku dapat separuh je kan. Apa kan, tak pass average langsung kan. So macam when I look back and I reflect, we ourselves are in our own journey.
Betul?
And our stories compared to our colleagues and or compared to our friends are very different. We came from different backgrounds.
Betul?
And having the notion or the thought of comparing yourself to others is very destructive lah. Untuk aku. For example, macam kau tengok social media. Oh, she's going overseas. Oh, dia ada benda ni, dia ada benda tu. Weh, dia travel pergi Australia tu, Korea, pergi Jepun, pergi UK semua benda. When we don't realize that they grow up in a different kind of family. You grow up in a different kind of family. For example, macam you can't compare yourself, for example, dengan Kylie Jenner kan. Kaya gila.
True.
And for example lah. And family dia dah invest and dah create a kind of platform that she can stood upon and become who she is right now. And she already have her business because of her family. Dia yang dah set up that infrastructure so she can like strive upon that. But for us, for orang yang marhen ni, orang yang biasa-biasa lah. So we Asia lah. Bukan apa ni, T20 lah. we should have the notion of self-acceptance first. For example, like you need to understand you don't have that kind of wealth or something like that. If you don't have that kind of wealth, make your own wealth. Make your own platform.
Betul.
I think if you make your own platform that you can stand upon and people would see you from the ground up, that will be the best kind of self attainment, self meaning and happiness. Macam tu lah.
And aku rasa kan, sebenarnya macam kau cakap lah, kita too harsh on ourselves kan, sebab kita tengok orang lain boleh buat ni, kenapa kita tak boleh semua kan. But I think kan, sebenarnya kita nampak diorang punya, macam mana kita kata, kita nampak diorang punya top je. Sebenarnya
success je.
Ya, sebenarnya diorang dah face a lot of thing kat bawah. And sebenarnya mungkin sebab kita ada our own journey kan. Mungkin masa diorang tengah kat atas tu, kita still tengah kayuh kat bawah. And when we compare kita yang kat bawah dengan kat atas, which is memang absolutely different lah. And I think by comparing our journey with others is very bad untuk kita lah. Sebab diorang pun ada diorang punya own journey, which is mungkin diorang tak tunjuk. And kita pun ada kita punya own journey. So I think even though kita ada different journey kan, the good thing about having different journey is you can help each other. Maybe sebab kita pernah belajar kan, macam hidup ni like macam roda kan. Kadang-kadang kau kat atas, kadang-kadang kau kat bawah. But by having differences lah between us, then I think maybe kita boleh belajar a lot of things. Maybe dia boleh advise kita bila kita nanti kat atas apa akan jadi. And kita pun boleh advise dia, okay, bila kau kat bawah apa akan jadi, apa yang kau perlu buat. And I think it's really good lah sebenarnya. Sebab tu lah macam it's back to our support system lah sebenarnya. You need to have a very good support system to help you to climb your own mountain, not others' mountain. Yeah, the climb.
Wow. Oh my god, Miley Cyrus. Okay, nanti aku insert lagu dia masa kau cakap tu. Dia slow naik.
Yeah.
Okay lah, sebab betul lah juga. Sebab kadang-kadang we are in pursuit of happiness kan. Kita nak cari kegembiraan. We tu macam taksub lah. For example, kadang-kadang we buy things that will make us happy. Yeah, that's good, that's fine. If you have the money, go ahead, buy. But after that, sometimes you feel remorse. And kau rasa macam perlu ke? Macam sense of happiness kau tu sekejap je.
Betul.
Untuk aku lah. Betul lah. Aku ada baca satu quote ni. Pursuit of happiness is very hard because it can be very momentary. Macam dia sekejap je.
Betul.
The feeling of happiness. But the other part of the quote, the most important thing that you need to find is pursuit of meaning. Because it cultivates and develop your own character.
Yeah, true.
As a person.
Betul.
Betul. And like finding meaning in self, like finding meaning in life, I think we should be more focused on that kan.
And I think it's depend on yourself. I think macam dia macam ikut kau punya tempo lah. Macam kau tak akan, maybe some people dah jumpa the true meaning of their life, but some people maybe diorang take longer time. But it's okay sebab during that process you will learn a lot of new things yang boleh cultivate kau lah sebenarnya. And daripada situlah sebenarnya kau boleh belajar a lot of things, and maybe kau boleh cari something yang kau nak buat for the rest of your life. Yeah.
Sebab aku ada baca pasal this author of a psychology book nama dia Emily Esahani Smith. So basically dia cerita pasal finding the meaning of life. Dia ada 4 komponen. Satu, sense of belonging, macam a sense of you're a part of something, or you're a part of family, a community, or something like that Number 2 is finding purpose. Finding purpose ni macam kau buat satu benda yang kau rasa very fulfilling. For example, doing hobby, doing it, the things that will make you happy. Third is finding peace. Finding peace ni is very important. Kalau kita orang Islam, we usually find peace when kita solat kan.
Betul.
When kita menghadap Tuhan. And then sometimes macam untuk orang lain, they can find peace while doing things that they like, macam hobby. Kadang-kadang untuk aku, I find peace in 3 things. I find peace in solat, I find peace in cycling. Cycling, bila aku cycling seorang-seorang, I usually do my cycling seorang-seorang because I like to think by myself bila aku cycle seorang-seorang. And another thing is editing. Editing macam podcast ni. I think that feeling macam rasa aku peace lah, rasa tenang, buat engkau tenang. And then lastly, number 4, the last component is storytelling, in terms of we're macam luahkan apa yang kita rasa dalam hati kita. Macam kau cakap tadi, macam kalau kita simpan je dalam benda cerita kita dalam hati kita, it will burden ourselves so much, to an extent it will take a toll on your mental health, kan? So having a medium of telling your own story is very important. Tak kisahlah, macam dulu pun aku rasa, aku pernah nasihatkan kat kau, macam you should write something, right? Macam diary ke apa kan? Because when you write a diary, tak kisahlah, macam suka hati kau lah, kau nak explain your story within painting ke, within a photo ke, you do your storytelling in your own creative way kan, which going to fulfill you. So having that is very important.
True.
So based on apa yang saya Emily Estafami Smith ni cakap, aku rasa macam I can really relate to what she says, and it's true. Once you find the meaning of life, from that point on you can find happiness.
Yeah. Dia macam the sense of acceptance lah. Acceptance, the sense of acceptance, the sense of accept yourself when you are having broke down, or when you are happy, just like that. I think macam it sound like dia macam, yelah, dia macam kau takkan happy tau sepanjang masa tau. Dia macam it's very weird if kau happy every day.
Bunyi macam orang gila.
So I think by accepting the happy you, by accepting the sad you, the fear you, all of that emotion, I think it will build up the happiness, the real happiness for yourself. And I think macam mana orang cakap macam mana daripada ada emotion kau boleh having your happiness kan. Tapi macam kau boleh relate lah sebenarnya. Macam daripada kau sedih, mesti sedih tu macam dia tak akan lama. And daripada sedih tu kau akan rasa, daripada kau nangis kau akan rasa relief. And after relief, then you will feel some kind of soothe for yourself. Macam kau rasa lega, then kau akan try to macam bangunkan diri kau sendirilah macam, and at that time you will try to make yourself happy again. And aku rasa all emotion are very important, but don't make it macam kau kena manage kau punya emotion lah. Kau kena, if you under pressure, having a pressure, then you need to manage it wisely, because if you are not manage that kind of pressure wisely, then it will turn into stressful event in your life, and then it will lead to some kinds of mental health. Your mental health will be decreased. So I think you need to balance wisely all the emotion. And jangan takut lah dengan your own emotion. Yeah. Tu yang aku belajar lah.
Okay guys, on that bombshell, we're gonna end our podcast. And thank you, Yana, for being my guest. Thank you.
Alright.
And alright, see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.